Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Thank you all for joining in. Today, first of all, welcome to Ask the Nannies community. And I like to call it community because um, I'm the community connector. In my world, that's what I'm known as. In the nanny community, I am the community connector. So, welcome to the Ask the Nanny community. Today, we're going to talk about raising independent children. I put a post out, I guess about a couple of weeks ago, about children being independent. About it's a set of twins. If you haven't seen the video, it's a set of twins cleaning up their room and what they're learning as they're cleaning up. It's my job as a nanny to help children to become as independent and self-sufficient as possible. And there are several things that I do in order for this to happen. First of all, I start from birth. When they're out of the womb, I talk to them and tell them what I expect from them. Little babies, I just tell them, okay, we're going to drink your milk. And then after we drink your milk, we're going to take a nap. And I want you to take a good long nap, okay? So you can grow and you can get bigger and stronger. Basically, I kind of forecast and tell them what I expect of them. And even though some people think, oh, well, they can't hear you, they don't understand you. Yes, they do. Babies are what I like to call little adults. They don't know the rules of everything, but they still can think. So I talk to them like little adults. And that's one of the things that I'm encouraging you all to do is talk to your children. Do what I like to call forecasting. When you talk to your children, you tell them about the world around them. You teach them. You are your child's first teacher. So if you're going to teach your child, teach them about the world around them. Teach them left from right. Teach them over, under, in between. And you can do that with your everyday language. When I go to pick up the child in the morning, I say, good morning. How are you? How's your day? Are you ready to get up? Are you ready to get dressed? Sarah says, this is a great idea. We have started this a lot more recently. Great, great, great. So when you talk to your child, you let them know what's going on. You let them in on the routine of the day. Okay, we're going to go get dressed. Okay, I'm going to put your right arm in. I'm going to put your left arm in. You teaching them left and right. And the more you say it and actually do it or hold it, whatever it is that you're doing in front of them, okay, give me your right arm. This is an arm. This is your right. Okay, yeah, this is my right arm. I'm looking at the camera and look left. But this is your arm. This is your right arm. And I'm going to put your clothes on. I'm going to put your shirt on. This is your shirt. Just show them the shirt. This is the shirt okay, let's put your pants on. And you put their pants on. Okay, right leg first, left leg second. Okay, let's pull your pants up. They learn the difference between up and down. When I'm holding a baby, I always say up, 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 down, down, down. If I'm picking them up, I'll go up, up, up. And then when I put them down, I go down, down, down. So they know this is up, this is down. They learn directions from when you're talking to them. So talk to them. I'm not saying you have to babble on all day long because children need independent playtime, but when you have moments to talk to them, opportunities to talk, take those opportunities to show them around the house. When your baby is crying and they're fussy and you're trying to pat them, okay, flip them around. Let them see, oh, look, that's daddy when he was in high school. That's grandma. You know what she does? Tell them about grandma. Tell them about children. Listen to your voice, especially moms. Children have listened to your voice in the womb, so they know that your voice is soothing. So walk around the house, show them things in the house. It distracts them. It gives them knowledge about their relatives. It gives them something to focus on, even if they're not looking at it. It gives them something to focus on. Show them. Help. I'm nannying a 6-month for the first time. Any advice? Yes. 6-month-olds is that starting to roll over, starting to crawl, wanting to sit up, all that is going into one. Teething is going on, so have plenty of teething rings. Put cold baby towels in the freezer so you can rub their gums. The coldness helps to numb their gum. It also soothes the gum. The texture helps to rub their gum and soothes their gums. Encourage independent play. Play with them. Encourage them to crawl. If they're not crawling, help them to crawl. Lift them up and help them get on all fours, and kind of hold them and kind of guide them back and forth, because most babies get on all fours and they start rocking. That's the first progression of crawling. So if they're rocking, they're doing a good job. Help them to rock. If they're not rolling over, well, help them to roll. Show them, hold their hands and show them how to roll back and forth. Do tummy time. Take them outside for walks. Even if the parks are you don't want to take them and put them in a swing, take them to the park and let them watch other kids. Socialization is important for kids, especially when you have an only child. Socialization. Let them learn the relationship between kids playing. Let them see it. Hey, I did the Elmer fruit plate for my niece. She loved it. Great. I'm so glad she loved it. Okay. I touched my phone and it's on one of these new stands my husband just bought me. So it's just kind of bouncing up and down and I'm not used to it. So if I keep going like this, you'll know why. But as far as your 6 months old, if they're starting on foods, I don't know if you're doing baby-led weaning or if you're doing purees. It's best if you get a cookbook, a baby cookbook, and try to make your baby's food, because you don't know what's been put in the food that's on the shelves. I'm not saying this to scare anybody, but if you think about it, that food, by the time it comes from the garden to the factory to the shelf, and by the time you get it, it's about a month. And any food that I know of, within a month time, fresh food, it goes bad. So they say no preservatives, no this. Something is in there preserving that food. And then when it gets to your shelf, it's lasting another 2 or 3 weeks before you feed your child. I suggest make your own baby food. Get a baby food cookbook. You don't need nothing fancy. If you have an immersion blender or if you have a regular blender, that works fine. So I would suggest you make your own baby food. And let me come back to you, because I know there's a lot of more things about 6-month-olds that I'm not thinking of right now, because my brain is shifted at the independent child. So let me come back to that, okay? Thanks. As I was saying, forecasting to your child is a good thing. It teaches them about the world around them. It calms them down. Give them opportunities to make choices. Toddlers love to make choices, whether it is what clothes they're wearing today, what food they get to eat. Do you want spicy chicken or do you want plain chicken? Do you want sweet potatoes or do you want white potatoes? Give them choices. If they get choices, it helps them with critical thinking. It helps them to make decisions later in life. And these may seem like little simple things to you, but to a 2-year-old, it is so important, because they get to choose. They get excited and they will eat for you. And give them opportunities to help. Give your children opportunities, not just to help, but to help clean up. The video that I was referring to, the kids were cleaning up, and someone made a comment, how do you do that? How do I get my child to do this? And then somebody else, and it just kept going on and on and on. So that's why I'm here talking about making your child independent. There are several different things. They don't just clean up automatically. You have to show them. Hand over hand. If your child is 9-10 months old and it's time to clean up, it's never too early to teach them how to clean up. If you put their hand on the toy, they'll probably grab it, and then you put it in the bucket. If they don't let go, you just kind of gently release it from their hands and keep going until it's cleaned up. Now, at 9, 10 months, I wouldn't do more than 5 or 6 toys at a time. But every time you play, make sure they have an opportunity to help clean up. That's how you get them in the habit of cleaning up after they play. Because once they get older and start playing with Legos and all these other blocks and these little pieces, I won't say small pieces, but it's enough pieces where you're bending over, picking up forever and ever. Let them start picking up and put it in the bucket. Put it in the bucket, and they will stop. Excuse me. They will stop to play. Promise you, they will stop to play. But if they're stopped, even if they're stopping to play, continue to clean up. Sing the cleanup song. Music always helps. Okay, make a game of it. Who can get more in the bucket before I can? Whatever you need to do, help them to be independent and make decisions and make choices. This is what we're doing. We're cleaning up. And don't be so strict about them cleaning up at first, because it loses its surprise, its shine, its luster. Clean up? What do you mean clean up? I don't want to clean up. So if you continue to make it a game, if you continue to make it fun, continue to be a part of a transition, singing the cleanup song always, always helps. And remind them. Don't ever just say, okay, it's time to clean up. Remind them you have 5 minutes. Help their brain to transition. That keeps you from having a whole lot of temper tantrums. Give their brains time to transition that it is time to clean up. Okay, we have 5 more minutes and then we're going to clean up and go eat lunch. Okay, we have 3 more minutes and then we're going to clean up and we're going to go eat lunch. All right, I'm counting down. We have 30 seconds and then we're going to clean up and then go eat lunch. So they know, if you keep repeating what the routine is, they know I'm going to clean up and then I'm going to go eat lunch. So that's what they will be expecting. As I say, talk, 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 talk. And also listen. Listen to them. They have something to say. I don't care if it's just gibberish. Give them an opportunity to think. Don't ask a question and say, oh, well, you're not answering fast enough. Well, let's just go on and do it this way. When you are contemplating a decision and it's a major decision, do you automatically just say, okay, well, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that? You take your time and you think about it. So be patient and give your child time to think about their choices. Give them time to think about their decision, because the way they make decisions now is how they will learn how to make decisions later. You don't want them to have a choice if they're out with their friends. Okay, somebody's drinking, somebody's smoking, somebody's doing something else. And you want them to make a good choice. Contemplate their choices. Now, if I drink, this is what's going to happen. If I smoke, this is what's going to happen. If I choose this, this is what's going to happen. I think I'm going to choose to walk away and do my own thing. You want them to be able to make those choices so that when you are not there, they make good choices. Now, I'm not going to say that they're going to always make the right choice, but if you give them opportunities to make those choices and make good choices and praise them for the choices that they make, oh, good choice. I like what you did. Praise them. Give them confidence. Build their confidence. I did something good. I made a right choice. Give them that opportunity to rejoice in the choices that they make, because that will help them later on to make better choices. Also, sign language. When babies, I'm a baby sign language instructor, and all the babies that I work with, I start from birth and I sign with them. That's why you see my hands going now, because I'm always signing. I will teach them sign language, because babies can communicate with their hands before they can verbally. And when you use sign language, use the words with it. I will sign the word milk. I will hold the baby's bottle And I said, do you want some milk? Do you want milk? So I'm showing the baby what milk is. I'm signing the word milk and I'm saying the word milk. So all three of those go together. Yes, you can start from birth. So by the time they actually have control over their hands, because it takes a good 2 to 3 months for them to actually, you notice they're reaching for things and they're actually holding on to things. It takes a good 3 months, 2 to 3 months for them to start using their hands and start stretching their hands out enough, because most of the other time you'll see them like this. When your baby is distressed, their hands are clenched. When your baby is relaxed, you see their hands loosening up like this. And you'll see them looking at their hands and discovering their fingers and what's going on. Talk to them about their hands. Make little hand games. I always say keep a song in your pocket. I always sing songs about hands and toes and your fingers and your nose or whatever the case may be. And it teaches them the parts of their body. It teaches them the right and left. Again, keep talking, keep talking, keep talking. And encourage your children to talk and sign at the same time. Even if they can't sign, you don't want your child going, and you're sitting here, you want this? You want this? You want this? You're in sitting there going through 50 different things, and the very last thing that you choose is what they want. If you give them sign language, if you give them words to use, then if you model and give them words to use, you encourage language development. If they still going they will unless as long as you give in to they will keep and they will never talk to you, because why should I talk if I can just point and go in? Why should I develop a language? I've been thinking of teaching sign language with my second baby due in July. Yes, go for it. And don't let anybody tell you that sign language will delay their speech. It's just like with any other language. If your child is bilingual, they are translating in their head. And you may get some sign and some English. If your child is learning English or learning Spanish at the same time, if you have multilingual families, I've worked with multilingual families, and the children now know 4 different languages. I have learned a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit over here because I am immersed in their family. And so I pick up on the words. But if you give your child language, if you give them a way of communicating without frustration, it helps them to be independent. I know what I want. I want a peach, or I want an apple. I want a banana. If you give them those words and please and thank you, simple words that they can say. Can you say please? Can you say thank you? Now it may look like they're blowing a kiss when they're saying thank you, or they go like they do it backwards like this, but that's their language, and they're telling you and they're communicating with you. And praise them for communicating with you, because they see it as an acceptance from you. Oh, mommy loved what I did. She smiled. Oh, mommy said I did a good job. That encourages their self-esteem. That encourages confidence and independence. All of that is rolled all into one. Okay, now, independent play. Even as little itty bitty babies, you don't have to hover over them. Hey, baby, how are you? No. I do tummy time, make sure they get their exercise in, and then I put toys around them and let them play. I turn the music on. Music changes the environment. I promise you, if you are trying to transition transition the music too. When we play, it's all lively and just bouncy. But when we get ready to go to sleep, I start playing slow music to calm the brain. It triggers the brain to calm down. It triggers your endorphins kind of settled in, and they get all their little wiggly jigglies out. And so by the time we get in to go to nap time, or we transition into a quiet activity, it's more of a peaceful, instead of, hey, what you doing over there? We're not outside anymore. We're not out in the park. We're not yelling across the room. We're not in the gym. It's quiet time. We're in the library. It's quiet time. It's time to take a nap. It's quiet time. The baby is sleeping. It's quiet time. So transition the music to something soft. And I'm not saying you got to play lullabies. Play some classical music. It calms the atmosphere in your room, the environment in your room, or wherever you are, even in the car. It changes things. I had someone to tell me they were riding home in the car, and the baby wouldn't stop crying. And she said, well, find a story, because the baby liked listening to stories. So she went on YouTube, and she just happened to find one of my stories about shoes. I'm not sure what the name of the book was, but she said it was about shoes. She said, we listened to that book 7 times on the way home. She calmed down. She heard your voice, and she calmed down immediately. And every time it stopped, she would cry. So we repeated it 7 times when we got home. So soothing voices, soothing music, anything soothing, it changes the atmosphere. It changes what's going on in the child's brain. If you think about yourself, you change the music when you're exercising. Are you listening to lullabies? I go to sleep, lullaby, your dreams are calling. I'm not trying to sing, but is that workout music to you? No, that's fall asleep. I'm about to, okay. All right. Okay, hold on. I'm supposed to be exercising. All right. That's not the type of music you want to exercise to. You want to listen to something upbeat, and you gotta get your beat on and get your walk on, and it helps you to make it through that exercise because it's so hard. But the music keeps you pumping and keeps you going and keeps you going, and you're like, okay, I got this. Okay, by the end of the song, I have this. So that's what you want to do. Change the atmosphere for your child too. So make sure that you use music to your advantage. Okay? Take the opportunity to talk about cause and effect. My little kids call it consequences. They couldn't say consequences, and I tried to talk about cause and effect, but that was too long. So they call it consequences. So talk to your kids about consequences, about cause and effect. Do science projects with them. Because you added the vinegar to the baking soda, the effect was it went off like a volcano. It started bubbling up and over. Do things with your kids that have a reaction and cause a reaction, and explain the cause and effect, and explain how their behaviors have cause and effect. Because you fell out on the floor having a temper tantrum, you bumped your head and hurt yourself. That was because, you hurt yourself because you threw a temper tantrum. Now, let's use our words. And when you tell your child, use your words. Use your words. If you're not talking to your child and giving them words to use, like emotions, like, oh, I see you hurt your hand. Did that make you feel sad? Did that make you feel glad? Read books with emotions in it. Read books to them that have different pictures or different things in them. One of my favorite books, this is one of my favorite books. It's called Elemental Peace. This is a board book because I work with babies, and I often gift this book. But when the kids get older, we go through this book not only learning the ABCs, but I don't read the words to them. I'm going to bring it closer so you can see what's going on. I let them read the words. I let them tell me what's going on in the picture because I've read this book to them. But if they're reading the pictures, they have a totally different conclusion as to what's going on in this story. Let them read the book to you. Let them tell you the story because they may have a different ending and a different beginning to this book. What you see as a car maze, they may see, oh, look there. Whatever, it's the track or whatever the case may be. They see something totally different than what you see. Let them tell you the story of the book. Now, I call it a dirt pile. I had another child say, oh, look at the sand. So when they read the book, that's what they called it, the sand. Let them call whatever they wanted to call it because it's their story. They're making the choices. They're making the decision. They're building language acquisition. They are telling you. And if you listen, you'll hear about mama. You'll hear about daddy and grandpa and somebody. Oh, that looks like my friend from school. Oh, that looks like this. Ask open-ended questions. What do you think that is? Why do you think they did that? And let them answer. Give them the opportunity to think and let them answer. Like I said, I love this book. Let me bring it closer to you because it is full of colors. It is full of little pictures and the little peas on there. I love the little peas. They're always up to something. But give your child a chance to read the story to you instead of you always reading the story. You know how the story goes. Let them create their own story. This is a beautiful, beautiful book. And one day I'm going to come over here and I'm going to talk to you about early literacy because I am an advocate for early literacy. Like this one says, all these books, read, 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 read. That's what I do. I love reading to kids, but I also like for them to read to me. It lets you know what's on their mind, what they're thinking, what they know, what they don't know, what you can teach them, how you can improve yourself. You'll learn what they're thinking about you too. But let them freely talk and let them freely tell you about the book. So that's one of the things that I love about the books. I love this book. It's called Elemental Peas, and it's by Keith Baker. So I think they have a number. He has a numbers book. Okay. I think he has a numbers book, but keep that one in mind. Now, as I was saying, model. This is such good advice. I let my 2.5-year-old take over on stories. Yes, let them take it over on stories. Let them tell you a story. Them telling you a story helps them to recall what may have happened in the past or what they're thinking in the future. It creates their creativity, their imagination. Think about it. You're on TikTok. What is TikTok about? Creativity. Everybody's creating something to show everybody else. Well, this is an opportunity for your child's mind to grow, expand, and be creative. Show their creative side. Mama's always doing her TikTok. She's always creating videos. She's always creating. Let your child be creative with his books, with his reading, with his toys, and give them room to explore. I know a lot of families, a lot of moms and dads, why are you trying to go in the refrigerator? I have a video. My godson, he's a little blonde-haired kid with blue eyes, little curly hair, about down to here. He went into the refrigerator and took all the condiments out, anything that he could reach. He took them out and he lined them up on the counter. Once he got all he wanted to do, he put them right back in the refrigerator. That was his parents learning to let him explore and learn. He's taking things out and putting them back. He has a dog. He likes to walk the dog. Well, they put the leash on the dog and let him walk the dog around the house. Now, the dog has been there since he was born, and they have become best buddies. And that, letting him be able to walk the dog, that's an independent, because I see mama and daddy walking the dog. I see mommy and daddy doing this. I see mommy and daddy doing that. They want to imitate you. Give them something to imitate. Give them a choice of, okay, so do you want to walk the dog, or do you want to feed the dog, or you want to play games with the dog? You want to throw the ball for the dog? Which one would you like to do? Let them do all three. The ball may not go very far, but the dog will go get it and come back and bring it back to them and drop it at their feet, because the dog is playing. You're meeting three birds with one stone. You're getting to spend time with your child. You're getting to tire your child out so they'll take a good long nap or sleep overnight. And you're getting the dog exercise. 3 birds with one stone. Let your children help. Let them help imitate whatever it is you're doing. And make sure what you're doing is worth imitating. Because some of our habits, I say I know all the time. And I was taking care of a set of twins. And the little boy twin started crying. And the little girl twin went over and patted his back. She says, I know. I said, what is she talking about? Why is she saying I know? And then when he came to me, I said, I know you don't like this, but we have to do this. And I thought about it. I said, that's where she got it from. She got it from me. I say, I know all the time. Oh my gosh. This is where she got the I know from. Because I say it all the time. So be careful what you say, how you say it, and because children will repeat it. They will imitate you. And she imitated me perfectly, because when it's something that they don't want to do, or I'm trying to calm them down or trying to reassure them, I always say, I know. This is not what you want to do. I know. This hurts. Or I know. Or it's always I know. But they are listening. They are imitating. And they're learning from my emotions how to emulate and how to put their emotions out there. Because I go in oh, I'm so sorry this happened. If I'm giving empathy, they learn how to give empathy. If I have a caring spirit about me and I'm doing things for other people, they will do the same. So give them that. Now, and when your child starts learning how to put on their shoes, put on their socks, get dressed, just different new tasks that they're trying to do, don't hover. Let them try and make time to get them to try. I know sometimes you're in a hurry. We got to go. But on the days like Saturday mornings when you don't have to go and you're not in a rush, or in the evenings when you're not in a rush and your child is trying to put their shoes on, or they're trying to take their socks off, or they're trying to do whatever, accomplish it, don't go rescue them. Sometimes frustration leads to accomplishments. Don't always rescue them. Give them a chance to make a mistake. They won't know how to succeed if they don't fail. They won't know that they have succeeded until they fail. So let them try and try and try again. If they ask for help, give them the help that they need. But don't just automatically, oh, you need help with that. Let me tie this for you. Oh, you need help with that. Let me do this for you. No, don't do that. Let them have it. That makes them independent. And do you know how proud they will feel of themselves once they accomplish that goal? Look, mommy, look what I did. And make a big deal out of it. Yes, I see. Oh my gosh, you did it by yourself this time. Give me a high five. And they're like, yes. And then they'll try again and again and again. And it encourages them to do other activities independently. And because they can do these activities independently, it gives you time to do something else. It gives you time. Okay, go put your shoes on while I run to the bathroom. Go do this. Go grab your jacket while I go get the keys and the diaper bag. Go do this. They can independently do things that you would normally have to. Okay, you got to go to the bathroom, and then you got to go get the coat, and then you got to go get the keys, and then you got to go do this. If they can help you in any way, even if it's on backwards, they went and got their coat on and they did it independently. That is an accomplishment for them, and there is an accomplishment for you, because it means you were patient enough to let them do it themselves. When they're getting dressed, let them do it themselves. Even if the pants are turned around backwards and twisted, let them do it themselves. You can turn them around later, but give them that accomplishment. Give them a moment to bask in the glory of, I did this. And another little thing that I've learned when I taught preschool and my 4-year-old class, I always tell them, give themselves a pat on the back and say, I did a very good job. And they smile with the biggest smiles like, yes, I did this. Teach your child that. Give them some mechanism to encourage themselves, because sometimes that's the only person that's there to encourage them when they're at school or away from you. Give them the tools to encourage themselves to make the good decisions for themselves. Let me see. Let go of the rules. Just have a day with no rules. Choose activities where you don't have to be very strict. Let go of the rules. Let them make the rules. What do you think the rules of today should be? What should we do today? And what are the rules? You let go of the rules and let them be in charge. Then you see how they're thinking. You see how if they are emulating what your rules are, or if they're creating. Well, I think that if we do this and somebody doesn't do it right, or somebody breaks that rule, that this should be the consequence, or this should be the what happens if they break that rule. Let them do the rules. And sometimes intentionally break the rules so you can go face the consequences, because we're not always right either. They look to us to be right all the time. I know you're right. And don't be afraid to apologize. If you are wrong and your child tells you, Mom, I don't feel like this was right. Now, I'm not saying the child should come to you disrespectfully, but I always let my children, as long as they came to me respectfully, I always let them talk to me and tell me. Now, I've heard a lot of stuff because I'm an all-boy mom. I've heard a lot of things. I'm like, oh, God, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. But I let them talk. So I'll know where their head is. I'll know what they're thinking about. I'll know what I need to plan, talk to them about, or what I need to adjust in my life in order for their life to go better. So give them the opportunity for you to get in trouble, for you to break the rules, for you to break their rules, and then they get to set what boundaries. Okay, so you can't go in here for 5 minutes. Then don't go in there for 5 minutes. They get a chance to be in charge. It gives them the independence they need to make those critical thinking and decisions. It's all about decisions. And when you raise your child independently, it helps them to make the decisions they make now will help them later on in life. The same principle they're learning. It may not be the same situation, but the principle behind the situation is what they learn, and they will use it later on in life. And it'll be something that they will need. So let go of the rules and let their imagination soar. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Now, if they are in the middle of playing and they got this big creation going on, make sure you give them plenty of time to either complete it or give them enough warning. Like, if you got to be somewhere, if you got to be out the door in 20 minutes, tell them, okay, you got 10 minutes to finish your project. And if they're that old, then they can set the timer for 10 minutes. Let them set the timer. That gives you enough time to make it out of the door. It gives you enough time to for them to their brain to say, okay, I got 10 minutes. And if you're not done, we can place it up here so your little brother or your little sister can't reach it. So give them an opportunity to set a quitting time. We all have a quitting time at work. They need a quitting time too. And we don't just shut it off. Give them time to shut it off. When you put them to bed, including your babies. Put them to bed while they're awake. Let them wind down from their day. We come in and we relax, have a glass of wine, or watch TV, or read a book, or whatever. I go in my kitchen and cook because that's my happy place. That's what I do. That's why I unwind and de-stress. So I go and de-stress, whatever I need to do to de-stress. Your child needs time to de-stress from their day too. I know, they're a kid. They don't need time to, yes. What you see as an adult life, they have as a kid life. It's a parallel. You're up here, they're down here. But we still need the same thing. So put your child to sleep while they're still awake. It gives them time to think. That's their place of practice. In their crib, babies learn how to roll over. They learn how to pull themselves up. That crib, those slats, they break a great pulling tool. So they learn how to stand up. They learn how to cruise as they put hand over hand and walking around the surface of the crib. That's how they learn how to cruise. It's not just all of a sudden you took them out of bed one day and, oh my God, when did you learn how to do that? They've been doing it in their bed. They've been practicing in their crib during their downtime. When you're not around, they're practicing. You'll hear them singing or making words or practicing their words. Language acquisition. They're practicing the words that they have learned, things that you have taught them. You'll see them moving their hands. If you have taught them sign language, they're practicing their sign language. Give them time to wind down. And just because they wake up doesn't mean you got to rush in there and get them. Again, give them time to wake, stretch, and get it all out. And, let me start my day. And give them time to practice. Hello, fellow nanny. How are you? So give them time to get all that stuff out. That's a sign of independence. It also gives you time to take a shower, drink a cup of coffee, make a phone call, go to the bathroom. Just little things that you need to do to finish up dinner. I got, if your child can play in their crib for the next 5 or 10 minutes, okay, I got 5 more minutes left on the timer. Okay, little Johnny is in his bed and he just woke up. Okay, now if I go in there, my stuff is going to burn. So give them time to play by themselves. You'll have time to take your food out of the oven. It's nice and perfect like you like it. And little Johnny has had time to practice his words, has time to practice his crawling and anything else he needs to be doing. And both of you are happy. You both are happy. Let the kids be around older children. If your younger kids, the hope you are giving me is immeasurable. Thank you so much for your guidance. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let your younger kids be around older kids. I have worked with children who had no sibling and children who had older siblings. The ones who have had older siblings, that younger one usually is out the gate running. Because I need to catch up with my sibling. He's doing stuff. Oh, that looks interesting. Hold on. Let me crawl over here to get to it. Hold on. Let me crawl over here to get to that. Hold on. Let me. Oh, wait. Oh, he's walking. Oh, he's walking away from me. Hold on. Let me learn how to walk. I need to tower behind him. Kids who have older siblings, they usually walk faster. Do that. My son was 3. And my middle son was 17 months. My 3-year-old was potty training, and we had him almost trained. Just overnight, he wasn't trained. My 17-month-old came to me and said, "I'll go pee-pee." I'm looking at him like, really? You're not even potty trained, boy. Go, bye. And he said, "I'll go pee-pee." I was like, okay, let's go. So I went in there. I'm thinking I'm going to help him. Now, see, these are life lessons that I've learned. So my middle son is, what's this? He's born in 88. So he's 33. He'll be 33 this year. Now, this is like 32 years ago. I learned all these life lessons from being a mom and from being a nanny. But I was like, boy, you ain't got to go potty. You don't even know nothing. The first thing about potty, we haven't even started with potty training. He had been watching his brother. Every time he went to the bathroom, I noticed him trailing behind him. I'm like, why is he going to the bathroom? And I would tell him, come on out of there. Let the boy have some privacy. He was staying there with his brother. He was watching his brother. So when I took him to the potty, he went in there, grabbed the step stool from the sink, stood it in front of the potty, got up on the step stool, pulled his pants down, took his pamper off, and stood there and went, 2 drops came out. "A baby, mommy, a baby, a baby, a baby." I said, oh my God. He did. All right. He potty trained himself. I had nothing to do with that. He followed his brother, and he did it all by himself. I'm like, when did you learn to do that? What in the world? How in the world? He potty trained himself, and I was just like, okay. We went to underwear. I went to the store, bought some underwear because he was slim. My other child was a lot broader than him. So I went and bought him his own. I said, okay, what kind of underwear you want? And so we bought him these little puppy dog underwear, and he had his own little underwear, and we went to underwear from there. Now, we still had a few problems with the poop, but for the most part, he potty trained himself. Every morning he got up, we went to the potty. Now, I still had him in a pamper at night, but what I'm saying is, my point is, let your kids be around older kids, maybe 1 or 2 years older than them, because they will follow them. They'll see something they need to do. But I need mommy advice too. Okay? I'll give you some mommy advice. Let your kids be around other kids. Let them try to do things. When they're around other kids, hover a little, don't hover, but be just a little bit closer. So just in case they try something that, is just a little bit out of their reach, you're there to catch them. But don't stop them from trying. It's taking a risk. Children take risk. And if they are afraid to take risk as a child, it follows them. And they become scared to do anything. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I might hurt myself. Oh, no, I want to do that because that may hurt me. Oh, no, I don't want to do that because this will happen. Oh, no, I don't want to do that because that'll happen. Let them learn to take risk. Let them learn to be independent. Let them learn to go for it. If they fail, that frustration of failing will either push them forward or they'll find a way to do it. Improvise. Adapt and overcome. They'll figure it out. So give them the opportunities. And the perfect place, although COVID is open now, but the perfect place once COVID is over is at the park, when there are a lot of kids of different ages that are there. I like going to the parks where there's a little toddler park and there's the older kids park, and somehow in between they, get kind of mixed. Allow mistakes and be patient. It took us a while to grow up too. Exactly. Exactly, exactly, exactly. It did take us a while to grow up. Be patient and allow mistakes and have plenty of band-aids. Because even if there's no physical scratch or anything, it hurts right there. I need a band-aid. I need a band-aid. And the band-aid is not necessarily what they need or want. The band-aid is that security blanket of, that made it feel better. It justified me taking a chance, taking a risk, hurting myself or hurting my feelings, and I need a band-aid to make me feel better. My current baby, almost 2 drug baby, completely new experience, just started play therapy. Oh, great. I'm doing October. I want to know if using Similac formula is safe for a baby. Similac formula is safe for using a baby. If you have a premature baby, or if you have a baby with immune system problems, ask your pediatrician. The video that I made about the Similac and all the other formulas is to let you all know that formula is not sterile, and to make it with warm water. But look at your label, because some of the newer formulas, it's made differently. Now, my child was on Nutramigen, and that is back then, 30 some odd years ago, that was a specialty formula, and that formula cost $70 per can. Now, this was 30 years ago. That little can of powdered milk was $70 a can. So you can just imagine me like, okay, I'm not spilling a drop. Yes. So yes, formula is safe for your baby. Some women don't have options. I was one of those. I could not keep up with my oldest son. I could not keep up. My milk was not enough for him. And because I couldn't keep up, it dried up. And then what I have? Formula. I fed him formula. All 3 of my babies had formula at some point in time. My second baby had reflux at 6 weeks, so much so that he lost half of his body weight. And that's why I say, that's why I am such a huge proponent on gassy babies, because I thought it was gas. I honestly did. He kept spitting up. I would burp him and he would spit up and spit up and spit up. And he got 6 weeks. He was 10 pounds. He lost half of his body weight. He went down to 5 pounds and 6 ounces in 1 week. We were in and out of the hospital for 4 weeks. And we ended up on Nutramigen. So, please, 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 please. The gassy tummy, if a baby has reflux, having gas on their tummy is their enemy. Because when they burp, everything, if they're sucking it down, everything above that burp, that water, the milk goes down. If there is a gas bubble here, and he burps, everything from here on up is coming up out of him. So that's milk that he won't get. That's why I said stop and burp your baby after 1 ounce. Because the chances of all the milk coming back up is less. And you get a little bit of milk coming up instead of a whole lot of milk. There's a difference between this much milk and that much milk at one time. So if I couldn't stop the reflux, I was going to combat the gas to keep it from spilling out all the milk. Now, he eventually grew out of it. At 6 months, he was drinking Enfamil. But we had to drink Nutramigen. They took him off breast milk. Again, I dried up. So, because they thought he was allergic to it. But yes, Similac is safe for babies. Make it properly. Check with your pediatrician. Check with your read the labels. Find out information. And if you don't trust, your doctor, I always say, if I don't feel comfortable, I'm going to keep researching. I'm going to keep going and keep going and keep going until I find out everything I need to know about how I can help my baby. And that's why I'm here, because I've had two ill children. One had recurrent ear infections and couldn't hear for the first year of his life. Had 3 sets of tubes. Still has a hole in his eardrum from the tubes, but also developed dyslexia because he couldn't hear for the first year of his life. So I am a very big advocate for babies and what they go through, and I watch them carefully. I notice the signs. The biggest thing you can do for your child is observations, and write down what you observe for your whatever your baby's doing. If something changes, that way you know when something changes. You know when their behavior changes. You know when something was different. Wait a minute, this spot was not here. And that spot got bigger. And that spot got bigger. Hold on, we need to go to the doctor because this spot keeps getting bigger and bigger. What is this spot? Now, it could be just nothing. But at least you know that you are looking and you are doing observations. I do observations every day on all the children I take care of. So when moms go to the doctor, you can take I have like a little My Day sheet, or it's in the app. I make notes. This is what happened today. This is what's new happening today. She started drooling today. She started doing this today. This happened today. So when they go to the doctor, they can pull up their notes and say, okay, on this day, this happened. It happened again at the same time on this day. So you can create a pattern. Little Johnny is not sleeping. On Tuesday, he didn't sleep at 3 o'clock. His 3 o'clock nap, he just 30 minutes. Didn't sleep for half an hour out of the 90 minutes. On Wednesday, same thing. On Friday, same thing. 2 days later, same thing. What is going on with little Johnny at 3 o'clock? Something is going on with little Johnny at 3 o'clock every day. So I'm concerned. Look in your environment. What's happening every day at 3 o'clock? Is, the wind blowing east or west or whatever. My son had allergies. The wind could blow wrong and his eyes would just puff up. And I'm like, what is it now? So make observations, write them down. Not what you feel like your child is feeling, but write what you see. Not what you feel like, oh, well, he threw up, so I think it was his tummy. I think it was this. No. Write what you see. He spit up with white little curdles in his milk. He spit up, and there was a little red tinge to his spit up. So that when the doctor goes to look, you don't have to be like, I don't remember. I don't know. You will have it in writing. You will have it written down so you can tell, and that lets your doctor know where to start. Because, God forbid, it's something serious. If you have taken good notes and you have done good observations on your child and what's going on, then the doctor knows where to start. Oh, there's a pattern here. Let's check this first. Let's check that next. And then he can say, oh, I'm so glad you took great notes, because guess what? We found this, and this. You did good. I take notes for my family. All the nanny kids that I take care of, I take notes until I leave there. I take notes. If behavior problems, if he comes home from school and all of a sudden he's frowning, and all the rest of the years he's been smiling, and all of a sudden today he frowns. And then tomorrow he frowns. And on the weekend, perfectly fine. But then he comes home from school and he's frowning again. So what is going on? I need to talk to my child, find out what's going on. What is making him frown when he comes home from school instead of the smile that he usually has on his face? So all of these things are observations. Your child could be, Some new kid at school is taking all the attention from, my friend doesn't like me anymore because the new kid came in and they want to play with them and they don't want to play with me anymore. Could be just that simple. It's one of those life things. New kid on the block gets all the attention. So it could be that, or it could be he's being bullied at school, but he's not saying anything. So take notice of what your children's behaviors, especially little kids, their behaviors and their little things that happen with their eating and their eating and their sleeping patterns. Those could be a sign of we need to change the sleep schedule. We need to change what we're doing. We need to change food allergies. All these things can lead to that. So make sure that you are observing. I think okay. One last thing. Teach your children concepts. It goes right back to when I said teaching them right and left. Teach over, under, through, up, down, all those things. So they learn directionals. They learn ordinal numbers. They learn like, okay, first we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this second, and then we're going to do this third. So they learn the order of things. They learn how to put things back into place. They learn how to, if I say over, they're not looking up under the chair. No, look over. They'll know which way you're going. Because when you're outside, and teach them parking lot and street safety too. And even as I'm strolling with my little babies, and we come to the curb. Okay, we're at the curb. Let's look both ways before we cross the street. They don't know what I'm talking about as far as looking both ways, but they hear me saying it. And they're looking at me because the stroller is facing forward. They're sitting backwards in the stroller and they're looking at me. If they're looking at me and I say, okay, let's look back, let's look left and right. Let's make sure no cars are coming before we cross the street. And they're sitting there just grinning and grinning and grinning. But as they get older, and I keep saying that, they will know. I had my 2-year-old, we're walking hand in hand, and we're getting ready to cross the street. I've already looked because I'm in a hurry. He grabs my hand and says, Gigi, let's look both ways before we cross the street. 2-year-old. And I was like, you're right. I'm sorry. I got in a hurry, and I shouldn't be in such a hurry where I don't stop and look both ways before we cross the street. Now, I don't want to tell him, oh, I already looked, let's go. Because I don't want him to get used to not looking for himself. I want him to be able to stop and look both ways before we cross the street. And then we say, it's time to go. Teaching about red light, green light. What red light, green light means. So that they will know green means go. When the little walking man, you can walk across the street. When the hand is up, no, you don't walk across the street. Teach them those signs and street safeties, because you never know what your child, what may happen and what may not happen. My child was 4 years old. I had a light covering from the ceiling fall and crash across the left side of my face. And my son jumped out of his bunk bed, top bunk, went and grabbed the phone and dialed 911 and told them that I was hurt. So when I'm looking for the phone and I can't find the phone, I was like, where's the phone? Here it is, mommy. And he hands me the phone. There's somebody on the phone. And I'm like, I need you to hang up because I need to call 911. She said, ma'am, this is 911. How can I help you? Your son told us you were hurt. I said, yes, I need an ambulance. So I'm doing all this. I just taught my child, if mommy gets hurt, if daddy gets hurt, I need you to know how to call 911. He was 4. He was like 5 days away from being 5 years old. He knew I was hurt. He saw that it happened. Both of them in the room. He saw it happen. He went and called 911 because I was hurt. These are things that independent children know. It's not that I'm trying to make them grow up faster, but there are certain things that they need to know. There are certain things that they need to grasp of when someone is hurt, of when someone is, teach them what to do, how to comfort someone, how to, I encourage them to comfort their brothers or to go check on your brother, see what he's doing. Make sure he's not getting in trouble. How early do you teach a child about 911? Well, mine was 4, and I was getting ready to start a home daycare. And we started talking about 911. He asked about, we were watching some show, and then the fire truck went by, and it had 911 across the side of the truck. And he said, Mama, what's 911? So I explained to him what 911 was about. And after that, he's like, oh, can I practice? I said, no, we only dial 911 if we need 911. If someone is hurt, if someone is in distress, if you get in trouble or you get lost, then you dial 911. And as a child, explaining this to a child, it's a different language than if I'm an adult talking to you. So this different language, you get on their level, give them just enough information so they know what to do and when to do it, but don't go into the gruesome details. They don't need to know all that because then it'll scare them and they'll be afraid to dial 911. But I started at 4. And of course, when you have siblings, they're going to tell the other siblings about, oh, well, you need to know this. Mama taught me about this, and I know this, and I know that. And it's a conversation that you listen. Listen to your children. Listen to them talk. If you listen to them talk, I can't tell you, from working at a home, having a home daycare, and from working inside of a preschool, in the housekeeping, I know everything that's going on in everybody's house because your kids are imitating you. I know how grandma sounds. I know what daddy says. I know what the boyfriend says. I know what Uncle John says. And I know what Uncle Tom says. And I know what Uncle Ray says. I know all of these things just... Well, welcome to all my moms. Thank you for joining me. But I know what all of these things are going on in your house and in everywhere else, in everybody else's house, because of what your children are telling me. So again, like I said before, give them something to imitate and give them something, give them words to say. You can't just tell them, use your words, and not give them the words to use. Even if you're reading books about emotions and reading books about different things, don't be afraid to open a book. If you want to, if reading is a problem for you, go online. There are plenty of books on YouTube. People have read. I read books. I have about 94, 95 books that I have read. Narrated, should I say, not read, but narrated, and this is one of them on my YouTube channel. And like I said earlier, the mom said we had to listen to that story 7 times until we got home because that was the only thing that calmed baby. Do what you need to do to make your children independent. These are just some little things. These are just some little things and some tips to get you started. But teach them. I take my babies grocery shopping. They know how to grocery shop. They know how to read the list. Because when I make a grocery list, and you might want to try this with your 2 and 3 year old, make them a grocery list. and with pictures, and write the words out. But you need a banana, one banana, or two apples, or three oranges, or four plums. Find some little pictures, print it out. They want to feel important too. They want to feel like they're helping and they accomplished. Some stores have the little bitty baskets. Let them put their grocery list, take their grocery list and go to the store and get their one banana and their two apples and their three oranges or whatever the case may be and put it in their shopping cart. Independence. You're teaching them the value of money. You're teaching them how to read. Even though you may not seem like, oh, they can't read that. Yes, picture reading is real. That's why I said, have your child to read this book. Well, not this book, but read a book without you reading the words to them. Have them to read it to you. They are learning to read. Independence. And reading. My little thing came in the mail today, so I'll be back Thursday to show you how it works. I'll probably be on later than now because I really want to do this in the dark. My little, they covered up the picture here. But this is one of my favorite night lights. It's a night, I'm sorry, y'all can't even see it. This is a night light and it grows with you. As you can see on it, it's for baby and for the older kids. For the older kids, this little light, it changes colors. I love, love, love this thing. And it is also a sound machine. And it has a lock on it for toddlers. It's a night light, a sound machine, a time to rise, and it has a toddler lock. And I think it has a clock on it. And it works on an app on your phone. So when I get ready to put the baby to bed, I put grab my phone and I just put on what I want. And I'll show you how to use it with the app. I'll plug it into my other phone and I'll show you how to use it with the phone. I'm not sure what you're asking. Please. Oh, that's so cute. Okay. Yeah. Can you please? Okay. I'm trying to figure out if I missed something. I have 95 books. Oh, do you? Great. And don't be afraid to build your child's library. You are so nice. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Don't be afraid to build your child's library and build your child. Please don't take offense at this, but build your child's library with the real world. And when I say the real world, I mean people and children of different ethnicities, because that's what the real world is about. And if you're going to teach them about the real world, they need to see the real world in the things that they are reading, in the toys that they're playing with. And some books like this one, it's just all about ABCs. They're fun books, but have some real life. And when I say real life, I mean children that look like them in their books, no matter what the ethnicity is. Have some children that look like them. Have some children that look like other children that are in the world, not just themselves. Teach them about the real world. And teach them inclusion, children that are in, who may be on a walker, children who may be in a wheelchair, children who may wear braces, things that are different from them. The hair is different, their facial structure is different. Some are short, some are tall. Teach them about the real world. So, now, with that being said, I'm going to go down through here and make sure I didn't miss any comments. If you haven't followed me, please do so. And share this video with any of your friends, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, anybody that you know who is raising children and wants to raise independent children, please share this with them. Also, I am starting a Ask the Nanny community. It'll be launching on Saturday, the 27th, and it's my Patreon community. I'm going to be doing a lot more demonstrations and one-on-ones. So parents who need help, I can help you one-on-one, because I know talking on TikTok back and forth, I can show you a little video, but that still doesn't help you with your specific needs for your child. You can reach me on my website, which is atnanny.com. You mentioned an app where you take notes. What the name of it, please? Okay, so those are baby apps. Actually, Hatch has an app. It's called Hatch Baby. This is Hatch Rest. There's two different apps. One is Hatch Baby. It allows you to put the diaper changes, the times you fed them, how much you fed them. It allows you the weight. If you're a breastfeeding mom, or you're pumping, or you're breastfeeding, it allows you to put how long you fed on which side. And what else does it do? Let's see, sleeping, feeding, diaper changes, pumping, the weight. It has a place where you can put notes. Say if your baby's eating, they spit up all over the place, and you can add that note to that bottle during that feeding. If each application is a little place where you can put notes. So if you're changing Pampers and all of a sudden your baby's poop went from the mustard green to black, and you're like, what just happened? You can put that little note on there. It has a strange color. This is what color. You can take a picture. Each day it encourages you to take a picture of your child each day, so you can watch your child grow and watch how their how they change. Because from a newborn to 3 months, that's a lot of change. If you go back and just scroll through those pictures, it's a lot of change. It also, I'm trying to think. Oh, it gives you the graphs as to what they're doing, and it also gives you the percentage. When you weigh your baby, it gives you the percentage as to the national percentage. When you go to take your baby to the doctor and say, oh, their head is in the 75th percentile, their weight is in the 25th percentile. So it gives you an idea of where your baby is measuring on a national level. But love, love, love it. There's also Baby Connect and Baby Tracker. I think Baby Connect is like $5. It's like a $5 one-time app fee when you buy the app, but you can use it with multiple babies. I like all things, all the apps. I can't say one is easier to use than the other, because each one of them has pretty much the same thing. It's just how you use it. So all of those, but I will do a talk about the apps too. Target has children's books and about feminine. Okay, I missed that. Target has books about feminism and acceptance of difference. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Get some books where your children will learn more than Hatch and Baby Connect app. Got it. Thank you. Gotcha. Okay, that all sounds good, helpful. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. But as I was saying, please join me on my Ask the Nanny community. It's on. You can look me up at patreon.com/ATNanny. Just like I am on here, ATNanny. That's what I am on my Patreon account. Also, it has the same logo as my Ask the Nanny logo here, so you know that you found me. Where am I located? I am in Texas. Well, not in Dallas anymore, but I'm in Texas. I'm currently 15. If I wanted to pursue this career, would you be willing to train me? Of course I would. That's one of the things I do. I am a nanny mentor. So I started at age 11. So you are right on target. But yes. So Chris46, contact me. Go to my website and email me from my website at atnanny.com. Email me from there, and so we can talk offline about where to start. Let's see. Do I have any other questions? Again, I apologize for the bounciness. My husband bought me a new stand for my phone, and it's kind of like on this little wire dip. So every time I touch the phone, it kind of goes like this. It's not me moving, it's the phone moving. So again, thank you all for joining me. Thank you for following me, for sharing this, for watching, for sticking with me for I don't know how long. I don't even have my watch on me. But I thank you and I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you have questions, please put your questions in the Q&A. It gives me ideas of what videos I need to make. I'm getting ready. As soon as I get done with this, I'm going to put out a video I created this morning where I was talking to a 3-month-old while I was getting her dressed. It just kind of gives you an example of what I'm talking about. What I just finished talking about, how to talk to your child and forecasting, and how you give them a chance to answer back to you. It gives them a sense of having a conversation. And that's what you want to have, conversations. The more conversations you have, two-sided conversations you have with your children, the better you learn them, the better they know, better you know what they're up to, and they'll freer. Now, always feel free when you're a teenager to talk to your mom and dad, but they'll feel freer to talk to you because you won't judge them and you will listen to them. Okay, now it's time for me to go because I'm about to lose my voice. So I will talk to you all on Tuesday, and hopefully my other tool that I ordered will be in, and I'll give a demonstration of it too. But like I said, it'll probably be around 7 or 8 o'clock Central Time, so that I can be in a dark room and so you can see what I'm talking about with this. And I will talk to you all later. And be on the lookout for the video.